Hello again, biology students. Welcome to week 7 with Mr. Charlton's biology class. This week we are going to jump into some biology information. Probably you've been waiting for this. We've been talking about climate for quite a while. So we're going to jump in. We're going to get just a little bit started on some biology information. And I'll go over the assignments in just a second. A couple things to remind you of. As of Monday, the 14th, you should have turned in all of your makeup work from weeks 1 through 5 and 6 so that you can get full credit. If you did not get that work done, you can still turn it in this week up until Monday. You'll get late credit, which is for 20% off, except for those students who I've talked to who are having technological issues or just joined the class or anything like that. So make sure you reach out to me if you are new to the class, so you know what things you need to do and what things you don't need to do. But everybody else, you should have been here the whole time, so you need to get on top of that makeup work and make sure you're getting it done. Also happening this week, this is more for the parents, progress reports are coming out this week. I will be submitting the grades for biology on Wednesday, and so I believe those progress reports are coming to you on Friday. I'm not 100% on how they're coming to you. I'm not sure if it's mailed out or they're sending a Jupiter message or an email. So you might want to check on that. Look for some announcements from the school or the district. But I know that we, the teachers, need to turn them in on Wednesday. So look for the progress reports. It is a progress report, which says basically this is where you're at right now. It is not a final grade. Your grades don't become final until December. So, but I'm not going to allow you to make up work from August and September in December. It's not going to happen. So students need to get on this stuff quickly and get caught up. All right. So let's go take a look at what you need to get done this week. Okay, so we're in our online notebook. We've got week 7 right here. And so week 7 is going to be about climate and food chains. And so there's the check-in meeting information as always. We're going to do something unique this week. I'm going to push you on your computer skills a little bit. Why am I doing that? So the last 3 weeks, we have basically, we graphed just precipitation. Then the week after that, we graphed just temperature. Then last week, I taught you a climograph, which is graphing precipitation and temperature on the same graph and being able to compare and contrast them. That was week 6. So for week 7, nobody makes handmade graphs anymore. You're not gonna go get a job or a career working in an office, working for a company, and they say, I need a report on this graph. And you're like, okay, let me bust out a piece of paper and with a ruler make a graph. They'll basically look at you like, what's wrong with you? So in order to get you ready for your future career, I'm going to introduce you to a program that makes graphs for you, makes them quite quick actually once you learn how to do it, and makes them professional looking. They look really nice, and you can actually, you go, hey, that's something nice. You know, it's not just hand drawn. So that is the first thing we're doing this week. That program is called Excel. I'm going to show you that in a second. We're going to also take some notes this week. The notes will probably be on Wednesday and Thursday's class. I'm going to go over how to use Excel on Monday and Tuesday, so make sure you don't miss those classes. And then there is a quiz this week. The quiz covers stuff that we've learned about climate, temperature, climographs, precipitation, and it's going to cover the notes for this week as well. And I think there's 11 questions. And I don't know why people are doing so poorly on the quizzes. Some people are. You should have your notes and your work in front of you when you take the quiz. So I don't know. Maybe you're not understanding the questions. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, so those are the 3 things. 2 Excel graphs, some notes, and a quiz. Pretty straightforward. The hard part is going to be this first assignment number 1, which is making the 2 Excel graphs. So there's going to be basically 2 ways that you learn how to do this. If you've never used Excel before, people get really scared by it. There's basically 2 ways you're going to learn to do this. Either you're going to show up on Monday and Tuesday's class like you should, and I'm going to walk you through how to create these graphs. I'm going to show you step by step. And if you miss anything, what you'll see right here in the online notebook is the steps written out for you. And so these are the actual instructions, the step-by-step things you need to do steps 1 through, what do I got? Steps 1 through 11, all the way to turning it in. So you can read the instructions and follow the instructions here, or you could come to class on Monday and Tuesday and see me do it, so you could learn how to do it that way. So you get either visual learning or you read the instructions. I did not make a video for this because I assume you should be coming to your Monday and Tuesday class, so I'm going to teach you how to do it there. Okay? Now let me show you where Excel is, because that's the tricky part, I think, is if you've never used it before. So when you log into office.com, you should come to a home page that looks sort of like this. It's not going to look exactly like this because these are my files. These are the things I have created in here. And it will list for you the things that you have created. But over here on the left-hand side, you should see a series of apps. Okay, you got the home, Word, and then this green one here is Excel. There's also PowerPoint and OneDrive and OneNote. But I'm talking about Excel. So you should be able to click on Excel, and the screen will change to just Excel files. So if you've ever made an Excel file, it'll tell you the files you've made. If you starting from scratch, you go here to New Blank Workbook. You click on that, and it's going to make a whole new workbook for you. And you know you're in the right spot with Excel, because when the screen starts up your workbook, it's going to be nothing but little boxes all over the place. And there you go, little boxes. And so what's really tricky about this is, you know, people are used to Word or PowerPoint. Well, this is a totally different program. And so what you'll do is you'll put in your months, and let's say you're doing average precipitation, and you'll have to type in, you know, like January, February, March, April, and so on, all the way down to December. And then you're going to have to put in the numbers, and I'll show you where these numbers are at, but let me just throw some numbers in here: 0.2, 1.6, 13.2, 10.0. Okay? And so once you put your data in here, this is called a data table, I'm going to ask you to do a bunch of things with it, and that's what those instructions are. The first thing is to actually create a graph. And so what you do is you highlight your data, and this is the tricky part. Don't highlight the titles, just highlight your data, so the months and the numbers. And then if you go up here to insert, see all these different graphs that they give you an option of? Well, we know from the weeks past that when you do precipitation, you do a bar graph. So I click on this, I say I like that one, and boom, it busts out a bar graph for you. And I'm going to ask you to do a whole bunch of things. Now, this isn't your final product, not by any stretch. This is rough. You need to make it pretty. You need to make it nice. And so you go click on this, and then go up here to chart, and you can change the chart title. You can change the labels on the Y and the X axis. You can change all sorts of things. You can change the color, and I'm going to ask you to do all that stuff. So that's on the chart tab. And then I'm going to ask you to go back to this data table, and I'm going to have you center it. I'm going to have you put lines around it. I'm going to have you highlight this. Again, making it pretty. And if you know anything about science, there's one thing majorly wrong with my data table is I did not put in a unit. So I need to go back and do that. And you can make these boxes bigger or smaller, depending on what you want, like so. So I'm not making a final product. I'm just showing you basics of what I'm going to expect you to do. Again, the instructions are also written in the online notebook right here where it says, what do I need to do? And I'm going to show the class how to do this on Monday and Tuesday. So come to class or read the instructions here. That's how you do the first assignment. As far as what data you're going to be graphing, if you scroll down, you'll see you're going to be making one graph of precipitation, which again, if you remember, precipitation is bar graphs. And you're going to be making one graph of temperature, which if you remember from 2 weeks ago is the dots on a line. So dots on a line, if you go to insert, it's this line right here, and you've got dots on a line, dots on a line. You can choose which one you prefer. Probably this one or this one would be best. Okay, so bar graph, dots on a line. So how do you turn it in? That's the tricky part too. So you can make it here in your online Excel. If you feel comfortable with computers and you're able to download a copy of it, save it as a file on your computer, and then upload that file into Jupyter, go ahead and do that. If you're like, I don't know what you're talking about right now, then you can bust out your phone and take a picture of your screen once you have it all done. And you can take a picture of the first graph, and you can take a picture of the second graph, and you can turn those into Jupyter. So whether you can download the file, save it, and turn it in and upload it back to Jupyter, or if you want to just take a picture of the screen, that's fine too. Either one of those works. That's the trickiest of the assignments this week. Okay. All right, assignment number 2 is notes. So come to class on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to take some notes on abiotic and biotic factors, climate, and we're going to start talking about food chains. And so those notes, you just take a picture of them, turn them into Jupyter. That's that assignment. And then the third thing is a quiz. Again, the quizzes are in Jupyter. They are not here. So if you don't know where to find them, here's a video that shows you how to get there. But pretty much if you go into Jupyter, go into your biology class, find the week 7 quiz, click on it, and then you start it. Again, bring your notes, bring your work, make sure you have everything with you, because once you hit start, you got 2 hours to take the exam. And I'm going to start being a stickler on this. Once you take it, that's your grade. All right? You're not going to get retakes for again and again and again. I need you to walk into the quizzes ready to go. Now, if some technological issue happens, the internet goes down, the quiz shuts down on you for some reason, whatever, then reach out to me, tell me what happened, and I can reset it for you. But if you just did it real quick because you want to get it over with and you got a poor score, that's your score. You're stuck with it. So come prepared, ready to go. So just to recap, you got a quiz, notes, and 2 graphs that you are going to make in Excel here. So that is your work for the week. All of it is due by Monday, as it always is. So you've got 7 days to work on it. Again, Monday and Tuesday we'll go over Excel. Wednesday and Thursday we will go over the notes. And then Friday will be a typical Friday with all 6 classes, where it is a check-in, meaning the students show up, they write something in the chat for attendance. And if you have any questions about how to do this work, or I'm stuck on something, or about my grade, that is the time to talk to me about it. You know, I know students are like, oh, I don't really want to talk to the teacher. It's like, well, your grade, you need to do something. You can't just let your grades be bad. So make sure you take advantage of that. Okay, with that, I will say see you on Monday and Tuesday.